Hi everybody, this is Jason here. I'm going to show you how to create an audiobook today. So what I've done is I started at the upload form and I went ahead and I uploaded a new book and created it. I'm using Mecanimals as a test, written by Chris Tortugas and published by Orca Book Publishers. And you can see I've already got the book in here, and my preview window allows me to turn the page, hopefully. And so we can see the book in a small little viewer here. And I've also attached a single MP3 file that basically has the start to finish audio for each page, all in one single file, including the cover page announcement, right? The title page announcement. And what we have to do is we have to choose whether we want a connected audio experience for things like follow-along audio narrations that plays a little ding at the end of each page or every spread to let the user know when to turn the page. Or we can choose disconnected audio, which basically is good for things like if you have a song or music, or if you want to completely produce the audio narrations with page turning sounds on your own. The only disadvantage of using disconnected audio is that you are, if the user jumps out to page 10 or 12 or something, the audio won't come with them, right? So they jump out to page 12, they're still listening to audio from page 1. They'll have to fast forward or skip forward on the audio player separately. So connected audio is a nice feature for somebody who wants to have, if you want to have audio narrations in the book. So I've already got the MP3 file attached. I'm going to choose connected audio because that's where I think disconnected is easy. You just upload the file and you're done, and it just plays as in a separate player. Connected audio, there's a little trick here. What we do is we actually play the page turning sounds for the user. But in order to know when to play the page turning sounds, we need to know when to play them. So we need the audio start times for each page. So, for example, I'm going to click play here, and you'll hear the very first few seconds is the title information.
Written and illustrated by Chris Tortugas, published by Orca Book Publishers.
Okay. So the start of that audio was at 0 seconds, or 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Now, I can start it on the cover page, or I can start it on the inside cover page, either way. What will happen on the first 2 pages is the user won't hear any audio, and then all of a sudden they'll hear a ding to let them know they need to turn the page. And that's okay too. So if your first couple title pages don't have audio, no big deal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start, this is actually page 5, and what I want to do is the start time for page 5 is going to be 0, 0, and 0 seconds. 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Okay? So now the user has heard that audio, and now I'm going to turn the page, and so I need to know when the start time for the audio of page 7 is. And you can see here we're at about 11 or 12 seconds for page 7. So I'm going to put 0, 0, and 12 seconds on page 7. We're going to listen to the audio for a second.
There once was a farmer who had lots of animals.
So that's the end of that segment, or that page, and it ended at 17, or you can think about it as the next page, page 8, starts at 17. So I'm going to put 0, 0, and 17 seconds on page 8. Okay? So I'm going to continue through just like that for the whole book, and I'm going to add the page time codes for each page until it's done. And once I'm done, I'll go ahead and click Save and wait for that to be saved to the server, and then we'll test it just to make sure that it works properly. And you might need to make some fine adjustments on the number of seconds. What really is helpful though is when you create your audio file, if you create enough space in between each page, so there's at least 1 or 2 seconds of buffer that you can choose either 16 or 17, and if you get right in the middle, that's where it starts to overlap a little bit. I've heard a couple of books do that, and so it helps to have a little bit more space in between each page. So now if I click README, I'm going to open up, and you'll see how it works. Okay, so now you can see we've got an audio play bar down at the bottom. Before we didn't. And I put the starting audio on page 5. So this is our generic.
This book is presented by MagicBlox. Turn the page, we hear this sound.
So that's our generic follow along audio narrations MagicBlox intro. And now I'm sitting here waiting for the ding. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the page like a good reader. And I'm reading this page, but there's no audio, so then it just clicks ding after a little while. I'll go ahead and click
Mechanimals, written and illustrated by Chris Tugas, published by Orca Book Publishers.
Okay, so now I should hear a ding, and you can see it got to 12 seconds, and then played a ding. So now I'm going to go to the next page.
There once was a farmer who had lots of animals.
Perfect. So that worked great. So we set it up to ding at basically 17 seconds, right? Because that's when page 8 started. So that's it, and that should work all the way through the rest of the book. And if you notice, I can jump back to, say, page 4.
Mechanimals,
And it starts playing the
written
audio.
and illustrated by Chris Tugas, published by Orca Book Publishers.
I can also turn off autoplay with this button here, so I can jump around and it won't automatically play the audio. So if I go to page 6, it will go to the page, but the audio won't start playing until I click play. And
there once was a farm.
Our reader is going to remember the last setting that the user had here. So that's it. That's all I wanted to show you, and hopefully you guys found value in this, and you guys can create lots of cool audiobooks that our readers will enjoy. Thank you.